Hi, hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. You know, there used to be a time where I did talk about it Tuesday, and so I think this is so wonderful that this is happening on a on a Tuesday. So, while we are waiting, if this is your first time catching me live, my name is Javon A. Frazier, or if you're catching the replay, my name is Javon A. Frazier, also known as Your Guiding Light. I am the owner, lead steam facilitator, or should I say lead steam practitioner, and room wellness advocate at Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique, located in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We are a luxury holistic wellness boutique, and our main focus is helping women rediscover their essence through the connection of the physical and energetic womb space. So everything that we do, we include mindful practices, we include yoni steaming, of course, we include nutrition, herbal supplements, all the amazing things. Okay, so let me just see where we are. Want to make sure that we are streaming live where we need to be. Okay, all right, all right. We are live. Awesome. So, this conversation is going to be raw and uncut. It is going to be all about the things that I wish I knew before starting the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique. We began in 2019. Let me just share this out. Hold on one second. I don't know. I'll share it later. I started the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique in 2019. We stayed open for about 8 months, and then I went ahead and closed the doors of the physical location of the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique and just had the services in my living room. And we'll talk about all of that. And then in 2020, I reopened um, this beautiful location, or should I say, we reopened in this location because we had to like remodel it, and there was the panorama, and so it was a whole lot of things. So um, there's a lot that I want to get into. There's a lot that I want to share, and I'm so excited about having this conversation with you guys. So, if you know someone who has a Yoni Steam spa, who is interested in Yoni steaming, who has a passion for like women's health, women wellness, women's empowerment, and they're looking for a new business venture, go ahead and share this video out. Today is National Entrepreneurship Day. Being an entrepreneur is a beautiful journey. It is a exciting journey. It is a stressful journey. It is an emotional roller coaster, but I absolutely love being an entrepreneur, and I would not do anything else. And so my goal, my mission, in addition to awakening wound keepers all over the globe, I also want to help other women start their own holistic yoni steam spas and offer womb wellness yoni steaming in a holistic way to women in their area. So I'm so excited to have this conversation with you guys. Before I get started, I just want to, hello, Katrina. Before I get started, I really want to talk about what yoni steaming is in the way that we do it here at the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique. As I mentioned, we are a holistic yoni steam spa. We're a holistic yoni steam spa. Why is that important? Here's the thing. First of all, let's start by saying this. If you have been living under a rock and you aren't aware of what yoni steaming is, it's vaginal steaming, it's a V steam. The process of yoni steaming is essentially it's a holistic wellness treatment where you are sitting over a pot. The pot can have boiling water, the pot can have herbs, the pot can have salt, We'll get into that. We get into all of that in the Yoni Steam certification course that I offer called the Practitioner. But essentially, you're sitting over a pot of boiling water with added elements to address issues of the reproductive system as well as energetic meditation, things like that. The way Yoni Steaming works is that you are seated over a pot of herbs. Here at the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique, we use organic herbs. All of our herbs are custom blends, and they're made in-house by yours truly. They have been researched, tried, and tested, and proven to work. I'm so excited. So you're sitting over a pot of boiling herbs. The steam opens your pores surrounding all of the vaginal, area. Your ruta for the tuta is what I like to say. So like from your butthole to your vagina, it's opening all of those pores. The vapor carries the benefits of the herbs from the water into your tissues, and that gets into your bloodstream, and that's how the herbs take effect. Okay, so there are a lot of myths surrounding yoni steaming, like, oh, how does the steam get up to your ovaries? You can't get the steam up to your vagina. You're trying to clean your vagina. There are a lot of myths about why yoni steaming does or does not work. The thing is, you're not trying to get the steam into your ovaries. You're not trying to get the steam into, your fallopian tubes or any of those things. The benefits gets into the tissue, that gets into your bloodstream. So it's just like lotion, right? Or anything that you apply topically. Your skin is your largest organ. So whatever you put on your skin gets into your bloodstream. Hello, chemicals and hair products and laundry detergents and all the things. But I digress. That's not what we're here to talk about today. So just like, with anything that you apply topically, any medication that you apply topically, it gets into your bloodstream through your tissues, and that's how the herbs take effect. Okay, so that's why it's important to use organic herbs, and that's why it's important to know what's in the blend. Okay, so, and I have some notes here because I just want to make sure that I get all the things that I want to say. So that's how yoni steaming works. Now, there are other things, and like there's more to it than just sitting over a pot of herbs. And we go through all of that in the Yoni Steam certification course that I offer at the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique called the Practitioner. It is available, and we are running a live version of the Practitioner where you get to move through the course with me live, asking all the questions, getting all the training, planning out your business, all the things. Like, it's so amazing. I can't wait. But we are going to begin that in January. So just a little nuggets. If you like what you hear here, remember you can sign up for the Practitioner. It is available now, the pre-recorded version from 2022 and 2021. 2020 and 2021. But next year, 2023, is new and improved version of it live with your guiding light. So that's what yoni steaming is. Okay. So now that we know what yoni steaming is, right, and it's becoming very mainstream. It's an old practice. They've been doing it for centuries in different cultures and different countries. Like, it's not new. The concept is not new. It becoming mainstream is what's new, which is a blessing and a curse. The blessing is that now a lot more people are being introduced to this healing modality, and they're able to take their reproductive health and their womb health into their own hands, right, by using this and other healing modalities. The curse of it becoming mainstream, though, is that everybody is like, oh, this is the next thing popping. I want to, start steaming. I want to add it to my business. I want to. And either they're not being properly trained, the motives aren't right, they don't know the ins and outs, or they're not incorporating the holistic aspect, which isn't yielding the greatest return that you can. So I'm excited that more people know about yoni steaming. It's great for me. It's great for business. It's great for women all over. But I just have a desire to see more people really being educated and really using the holistic side, right? Like the energetic as well as the physical womb space. So that's what we do here at the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique. We take into account mind, body, and spirit, the physical womb, the energetic womb, all the things. So what makes yoni steaming or a yoni steam business a spa versus a salon or just somebody who does yoni steams? Okay. Here at the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique, our main focus is yoni steaming. When I opened in 2019, we were the first and only yoni steam spa that you could go to, get a yoni steam, and that be the main thing. First of all, we were the only location that you can go to and get a yoni steam physical location in Myrtle Beach. Yay! But what sets us apart as a spa, as you know, as it pertains to the services, rather than just being a salon or a place you can go, think about like a nail shop and a nail spa, right? You go to the nail shop and it's loud, it's you got people talking on their cell phone, you got people in there with their kids, the TV is on loud, they yelling, loud, the people who are doing the nails and all the languages, and you pick your color, it's not serene. It's not serene, it's not peaceful, it's you run in, you run out, quick turnaround, right? Whereas if you go to a spa to get your nails done, it's a completely different experience. You have like essential oils in the air. There's music playing in the background. There's probably a waterfall. Nobody is allowed to be on their cell phones. They probably don't allow children. Most of the spas do not allow children below a certain age. It's very much like peaceful and serene, and they create an atmosphere that is conducive to not just you getting a service, but like you feeling good from the inside out. They offer you cucumber water or champagne. It's very much like a completely different experience. That is the difference between a yoni steam spa and just somebody who does yoni steams, right? Like, it was very important to me when I started the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique that we create a healing environment, that we created a spa-like environment. So we have, like, in our yoni room, there's a waterfall, there's candles, there's a salt lamp, there's a essential oils. You know that when you first walk in the door, you're going to smell frankincense in the main areas, and then when you walk into the yoni room, you're going to smell clary sage. Like, it's very, very like we offer you herbal tea, or water. Depending on what you're there for, you might get offered sparkling cider or kombucha or something like that. But it's like from the time you walk in to the time you walk out, everything is very much serene and peaceful and upscale, right? We are a Yoni Steam spa. Okay, and we're a holistic yoni steam spa because we do think we use this as a wellness treatment. There's no wine served here, no alcohol. Everything that we offer is beneficial to your physical womb space or your energetic womb space. Okay, so just a couple of tips. Hey. I am proud to say that since we opened our doors in 2019, we have served over 350 women. And this is specifically just Yoni Steams. This is not any of the additional services that we now offer, but we have had over 350 women come through the doors to get Yoni Steams. And so kudos to us. All right. But even with my journey being as amazing as it has been, we've been on the news, it's been pretty great. Like, we've had like some great events here. Um, we've had a lot of people share our stuff. We're known in different states, but there are a lot of things that I wish I would have known before I got started. And this is what this conversation is about. Like I said, when I got started, there was no one that I could go to say, this is what I want to emulate, right? Like that I could find. And I Googled and I researched. And There were people who were offering Yoni Steams in their salon, or estheticians who were offering waxing and Yoni Steams, but there was nothing quite like what God had placed in me and the vision that I saw. And so I did go and get certified. There was training available, but the training that I took, and this is not to knock them, I'm not going to name them because they're a great company, but the training that I took, it was strictly like the logistical side of Yoni steaming, the how to of Yoni steaming, right? And it was very in depth, very detailed. It was very good. But what it took to run a holistic Yoni Steam spa, womb wellness, the energies behind it, the what it takes to build a business, where to go for resources, none of that was available to me. I literally spent hours and dollars getting all of this information that I'm, going to share with you all, and that I do share with you all in the course, The Practitioner. So the first thing that I wish somebody would have told me was to really create a plan for my business, and not the typical, create a business plan. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? No, like realistically, what is the plan for your holistic Yoni Steam spa? Because this is a completely new concept and idea as it pertains to business, right? In the world of business, people have not been doing this as a business for very long. So even when I went to, like, say, get certified or open my business, I'm calling different organizations, and I'm calling different, the zonings and all this stuff to make sure that the licensing and everything was up to par. A lot of what was created was kind of on the fly because there wasn't a category to list us as, right? And so, like, when I did my zoning license, for example, and every state is different, every county is different, so this is not in any shape or form legal advice. I'm just sharing my experience. When I opened the Hidden Jewel and I went to get zoned, they have me listed under the same category as a tanning salon, because how it works, I'm not touching the people. They're kind of in a room, they get the service, they come out of the room. So to make it make sense for the licensing department, they were like, oh, okay, well, you're kind of like a tanning salon. So that's how they determined what I needed in terms of, you know, zoning, licensing, background checks, all these things. So they did it based off of the precedent of a tanning salon. So having a plan and knowing, and a lot of the things that they were asking me, a lot of the questions that they were asking me, I hadn't thought through because I really didn't know, because this was completely new. So had I known, like, in the beginning, before entering into, trying to call around, I would have been very specific on what I was going to offer, on how things were going to be set up, because they were asking so many questions that I hadn't even thought through. Because most of us, when we start a business, we just have a desire to help people and a desire to make money. And we don't really have like a business plan. And the business plan doesn't have to be as detailed as like what you get on the SCORE website, although, SCORE, Small Business Administration, that is a great place to start for a business plan. But sometimes in the beginning, just writing out like what services you're going to offer, who you're going to help, how are you going to operate your business. So for Yoni steaming, right, you have to decide, do you want a mobile spa or do you want a stationary spa? Because that's completely different. The legalities around that, the zoning around that, the insurance that you need for that is completely different. If you're going to be like mobile, going into people's homes, or if you're going to be in one stationary location where they're coming to you, whether it be in your home or a brick and mortar like I have. When I started the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique, I was straight up clear that I didn't want to go into people's homes, because I wanted to be able to control the atmosphere. I wanted to be able to control the energy, right? And you can do that in a mobile spa. You can. There are ways to do it, and we talk about that in the course. But as for me in my house, I wanted to have everything set up a certain way so that when you step into these doors, you are transformed. You can escape the outside. So for me, it was very important to open a brick and mortar location, right? Of course, I've done services in my home, I've done mobile services in other people's home, but the majority of what we do is in our own location. Mm, mm. Ooh, rainy days call for a hot tea. Pause for the cause. This tea that I'm drinking right now is called the Kung Flu Fighter. Um, this is for cold and flu season. I don't have a cold or a flu, but with the temperature change, I do feel a little tickle in my throat. So it's got peppermint, it's got anise star, it's got elderberry. This is a good one. Hmm. It feels like healing. All right, so creating a plan before you start your business. Think about all the things. Think about, you know, and take it a step further, right? Because remember, you're starting a holistic spa. So think about, like, how do you want them to feel? What do you want them to smell? What do you want them to see when they come into your door, or when you set up your sanctuary in your mobile spa? Like, how do you want your clients to feel? For me, luxury was a very big thing for me. So everything was like top of the line. I was very detail oriented as it came down to like the rugs that we use, right? Every rug in here is like fuzzy and furry and very soft. Excuse me. The blankets are nice and fluffy. The robes feel like satiny, and like I was very intentional. What do you want them to smell? So we have, certain scents that we use, and for certain reasons, and we only use those two scents: frankincense in the main areas and clary sage in the yoni room. We do not vary from the script. All right. And there's a reason for that. I thought all of that through. Okay. Like I said about creating your business plan, where do you see this thing going? Think about the grand scheme. Think about the bigger picture of your business, right? Because a lot of times when we open a business, you think you're thinking small. You need to think big. I was going to say that TikTok, but it might not be funny to some of you. But yes, a lot of time when we open a business, we don't think about this thing could really scale and grow into something bigger than us, right? We don't think about that we could be beginning a company, a corporation. It's, oh, I'm starting a small business. No, beloved, if nobody has told you today, allow me to be the first. Stretch that. When I started the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique, I knew that I wanted to be a huge company. So I was looking at how other companies, not in my field, but how other large companies ran their business, right? So I was looking at how they packaged their products. I was looking at how, like, these huge spas and these luxury hotels, what are some of the things that they offered? What are some of the things that set them apart? Because I wanted to be there, right? I know oftentimes we always say, like, look at your target market and look at your competitors. I don't necessarily. Uh, I wasn't really checking for nobody who was doing what I was doing, because I'm not them and they're not me. So I believe in looking at your competitors so that you're aware, but I don't believe in, like, mm, mm, mm. I didn't start looking at the competitors until this year, honestly. And it wasn't even because I cared. It was, okay, this is where I'm going. So let me see what else is around. Because if for some reason, like, there's somebody who wants this service, but they're not a fit for the Hidden Jewel isn't a fit for them, or they're not in the prices don't work for them. Let's see who else is in the area that we can refer them to. So that's when I started looking at the competition or the competitors. Now, I did look at big businesses because I knew that that's where I wanted to go. So I was like, okay, how are they doing it? And, what makes sense, what's working, what's not working, what do I like and what I don't like. And I forgot what book I read that in. But it was the guy, when he started Walmart, he went to like different stores and saw how they did their displays, saw what products they offered, saw, how their customer service was, and they literally, like, he literally took what he liked and grew that and left what he didn't. Like, for example, the man who started at Walmart said, and this is a tangent, but it gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. And the general stores that he went to, they didn't have a large ethnic selection. So when he started Walmart, he wanted to make sure that, like, the products, for minorities and ethnic groups was nicer and larger than what their competitors were offering. So for me, I did look at, I guess, other businesses, but it wasn't my direct competitors, if that makes sense. One, because there wasn't any here locally. And then two, the ones that I did know about was like, we're not even in the same league. We're going. Um, so yes, so that's what I did. So thinking through all of that, creating your business plan, knowing where you want to go and what you want to offer. What I will, well, this is later on. So, okay, I'm going to stop on that for a little bit. So the second thing that I wish I would have done in the beginning is document. Looking back, and when I say document, it's twofold. Document the process, document what I'm doing, what is working, what's not working, but also making sure you're keeping up with your documents and your records. I gotta be honest, I did not like the logistical side of business. That was like, it made my head hurt. So I did just enough to be in compliance, but like, did I really pay attention to the ins and outs of my business, the ins and outs, especially starting out? How much money I spent, opening the shop, how much money I spent on rugs and robes and herbs, and documenting how much I was using, measuring out everything. I didn't because I mix up all of my blends, right? And so how it works for me, Spirit gives me a download on a particular blend or a particular issue. And literally, it's like, pull this, pull this, pull this, pull this, pull this. I research it. I'm like, oh, okay, this does this does that. And then that's how I create my formula. I'm telling y'all my secret, but it's in the course. So, in the beginning, though, I didn't measure a lot. I didn't pay attention to what I was using in terms of supplies. I didn't pay attention to what was out of stock or have like an ordering process, right? I just was kind of doing it, right? Because I was the only one in my business. I knew what we needed. I knew what we were lacking. I knew how much went in everything. It wasn't until I started outsourcing and gathering a team that I realized it was difficult for them to duplicate the process or replicate the process because I didn't document the process. Everything was up here. That doesn't leave room for scalability, right? Again, we are thinking big. We are not limiting ourselves to, I'm going to be the only one in my business all the time, because then what happens is your business only makes money as long as you're working. That doesn't leave room for family. That doesn't leave room for other responsibilities, fun, rest. Oh my gosh. So in the beginning, start your business with the mindset of, you're going to have to outsource. You're going to have a team. Let me document everything so that people know, and not just everybody, but like my team can come in and do what needs to be done. And I can go on vacation. I can go take a nap. I can go build my business. Because that's something that I wish I would have done from the beginning, because we could have been a lot further along, and it probably would have been easier when I did get a team to communicate what needs to be done. And I wouldn't have felt so like hands-on and micromanaging, because it's already documented. Here you go, beloved. There. So document. And you want to document your process because you're going to evolve in your business. I am not the same businesswoman that I was when I first started in 2019. My formulas aren't the same. The processes aren't the same. And so it's good to be able to look back and see, okay, before we did this and this didn't work, and now we're doing this and this is working. So let's do more of this and less of that. It's what gets measured gets gets repeated, if you will. Like if you know what's working, you can duplicate that and you can make more of that. If you don't know what's working, you're not documenting, you're just going willy-nilly, and that's not the basis for a business. Okay, not a successful business, not a business that you're going to scale and grow. All right, the next thing that I wish someone would have told me is do not follow the trends. Do not get distracted. And this goes back to the whole competitors thing and why I don't pay attention to competitors. There was a brief time in my business where the comparison bug got me, especially in this age of social media where everybody is hopping online and everything is trending, and you see this person is, sipping, champagne while she's Yoni steaming, and those videos are getting more likes. We never offered alcohol because I knew that wasn't a good thing, but I'm just using that as an example. And so then you're like, oh shoot, well maybe I should offer, champagne, knowing that that's inorganic to you and that goes against, what you wanted for your business. Or, oh, this person is offering Yoni eggs. Well, no, I like Yoni eggs. Uh, detox pearls, and that seems to be trending. So let me offer detox pearls. Nope, 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 nope. Do not get caught up in the trends, because a lot of what's trending is not actually healthy for your womb space, and trends don't last. Building your business on trends is not sustainable because they're always changing. And so you always have to like keep up with what's, you know what I mean? I want to build a luxurious business. When you look at the big name companies, you look at the luxury brands, there some of the things, like Tiffany has been the same Tiffany blue since Tiffany was Tiffany, right? Like, yes, do they go deeper and do they expand? Absolutely. Have they evolved? But they are very much a timeless brand because they are clear on what they offer, they are clear on the level of excellence, they are clear on what they will and will not do. I've never seen a Tiffany's ad where somebody was like twerking, and I've never seen that. Even when Tiffany got Beyonce, okay? Beyonce is very mainstream and popular and trending, but even when she came into Tiffany's world, the presentation was very elegant, black and white. Even Jay-Z, like, so what I'm saying is, look at these bigger companies again and how they're doing it. They are very timeless, very classy. They don't really go with what's flashing and what's trending now. When you step into their world, they do things their way. Now, smaller brands, the wind blow they over here. This person is trending, so now they like this. This topic is trending, so now they doing this. Do not follow the trends. You cannot build a sustainable business on trends. And here's another thing that I have learned being in business and sticking to what the hidden jewel will and will not do, right? We are known for the level of excellence that we operate from. We have become known as a standard in our field based upon the fact that there are certain things that we always consistently talk about. There are certain things that you're not going to find over here. We are very much like we're standard in what we offer here at the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique. Now, that does not say that we don't evolve, and we'll talk about that later. But in terms of what we offer, in terms of the standard, in terms of, what we will or won't talk about, the kind of language we use, the kind of marketing that we do, we're very much on brand. It's not what's popular, what's trending. I don't know. We will implement the trends if it intersects womb wellness. If pop culture and womb wellness intersect, then we'll talk about it. But I could care less about anything that has nothing to do with womb wellness, holistic wellness, yoni steaming, Reiki, mental health, that sort of thing. We're not going to offer, detox pearls just because everybody's doing it, because we've done research and it's not good for you. Like, we're not going to do hookah or, certain things just because it's popular right now. Like, if we offer something new, you will know that it is because we have researched it, we have tried it, and it fits with the brand and what we want to offer and what we want to be known for, the culture here at the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique. Which goes back to number one, when you're creating your plan, create your culture for your company. Okay. Number three, I wish someone would have told me to have various offers. Now, I kind of knew this because the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique was not my first rodeo with business. I have done business before. I've written books. I've been on television. I've done different direct sale companies. And so I knew that in order to really be successful and in order to maximize your earning potential, that you needed to have various offers. But I really didn't realize how important it was to focus on those various offers from the very beginning. And let me explain. When I first opened the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique, my main focus was the Yoni steaming services, getting people in the door, getting people in the door, getting people in the door. I had no real products. Nope. When I first started, my only products, I think I had some teas. I did have a couple of teas, and I had Morning Glory has been around since the very beginning of time, the cream. But in terms of like retail or add-ons for Yoni steaming, I did not have that in the very beginning. So what happens if nobody is walking through the doors? The Hidden Jewel isn't making any money. Well, that quickly was like, we can't do that, right? And so then we started, providing various offers and services, products that went along with the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique's, services, the main service of Yoni steaming. So even if you can't come to me for a Yoni steam, like maybe you saw us online, or maybe you visited Myrtle Beach and you want to take the, this wellness treatment back home. What does that mean? Okay, well, no problem. We now have Yoni steam kits, right? We have the stools and we have the herbs and everything that you need to do what we do here. And you get a one-on-one service with me to help you set it up, right? Oh, Javon, I want to learn how to do this at home. Maybe I can't, maybe your one-on-one services is top tier for me, but I still want to get the information. Oh, no problem. We have, courses that you can do, meditations that you can do. And here's the thing too, they don't always have to be paid. One of the things that I learned in business, and I'm giving y'all a whole lot today, but it is what it is. Hold on. One of the things that I learned early on in business from one of my previous business coaches, and that's another thing, make sure you have a coach and or mentors. And it's great to have more than one for various things. One of the things that I learned from a previous business coach way before the Hidden Jewel, right, when I just was an author, was it's great to have 3 tiers of offerings. So the lowest tier, which is normally like your free offerings, a free Facebook group, a free ebook, the videos you put out on YouTube or whatever the case may be. And then you have like a mid-range where like it's a little bit more expensive, but it's not like, top tier, whatever. And that's probably like a service or, a group thing or whatever. And then like your highest level is like, that's your one-on-one, a VIP day, your biggest package, whatever the case may be. And so from that structure, that's how I built out my various offers. So I have the YouTube channel. I have, I go in various groups and I do free womb chats once a month. There are different things that, the email, the Facebook, I still pump out free information because that's going to attract the people. And for the people who can't, at this moment, because I don't want to limit them, but for the people who at this moment are unable to invest in any of my paid offerings, they can still get the medicine, they can still get the information, they can still begin to heal their energetic and physical womb space. So make sure that you have various offers. And here's the thing about various offers. Make sure that your various offers still coincide with the culture, the brand, and the mission of your business. So everything that we have added to the Hidden Jewel goes in line with physical and energetic womb wellness. Even down to the direct sales company that I started, Arbonne. Arbonne offers plant-based products. They have a gut health program. Gut health and womb health go hand in hand, right? Like, it just makes sense. Because you come into me for womb wellness, you want to get a Yoni Steam, but you're eating terrible, your gut is poor, your pH balance is off, your gut flora is off, you're going to keep having reoccurring infections, and so, like, we're being counterproductive. So let's get your gut health together, and your womb health, Yoni health, will be in line. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not offering, and in the beginning I did, I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning I offered things that I liked, but it wasn't maybe totally on brand. Like jewelry, I love jewelry, I love crystal jewelry, but it wasn't on brand with like womb wellness. So it sold, but it just didn't, which is why we no longer offer it. Love it, love the company, but it just wasn't on brand with the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique. So when you're looking to expand your offerings, it's good to like go deep and not wide. Look at your main thing that you're offering. How can you go deeper in that offering? How can you create different offerings that either go deeper on what that is or are a branch off of your offering? Oh, I thought she was coming in here. I see my door is locked. Okay. Even with the resident healers that we've added, Katrina, energy healing. Energy healing goes, with womb wellness because it's the energetic womb. Vanessa, mental health in the womb space. It's the same thing. Like fertility counseling, it's the same thing. It's all womb wellness. So in your offerings that you're putting out there, make sure that it all fits in the umbrella of your business. The final thing that I would say, and we kind of touched on it a little bit, is that it is okay to evolve. Just because you started your business out a certain way does not mean that you have to stay that way. Anything that is not evolving or not growing is stagnant and it dies. So do not be afraid to evolve. Okay, when I first started Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique, my services were $45, $25 sales. I have increased the prices, one, because everything has increased in, the world, but two, because the way we offer our services has evolved. The level of service that you get, the guiding light, the womb wellness, all of that has evolved and deserves to be compensated for, right? The things that we talked about or that we talk about here at the Hidden Jewel Wellness Boutique has evolved. When I first started, working in not womb health, but female empowerment, women's empowerment, it was, sexual trauma, right? And that was like a thing for a really long time. Well, now I've expanded and evolved into like womb wisdom as it pertains to women, where I can talk about sexual trauma, I can talk about sexuality, I can talk about fertility, I can talk about, mental health. We can talk about all these things because the umbrella has evolved to not just, okay, let's only talk about, sexual abuse, sexual assault, but let's talk about women's health and the things that women face, and through that I can talk about the various things that we love and that we're passionate about. Right? It is okay to evolve. It is okay to, you're over time, you're learning more, you're investing more in yourself, you're investing more in your business, you're getting coaches, you're continuing your education, you're constantly pouring into yourself so that you can pour into your business and your clients. It is okay to evolve. It is okay to level up your prices. It is okay to, be selective about the level of access that you give to people, right? Maybe in the beginning, You were answering questions in your DMs all the time, and maybe now you can't because you're getting so many. Like, it is okay to grow and evolve in business. It's actually fun because I know who I was then. I know what I was able to accomplish at that level. But now that I have evolved, now that I am growing, and now that I've gotten more information, what can we accomplish here? Like, that is exciting. So, those are the tips that just 5 things that I wish I would have known before starting this business of Yoni steaming. If you have heard anything today and you're like, you know what, Javon, I think I can do this, definitely visit www.hiddenjewelboutique.com. Like I said, we have the practitioner Yoni Steam certification course. It's available now, but the live version where you get to move through it with me is happening in January. I think it starts January 21st, but that information is on the website. um, if you are already in business, you already have a Yoni steaming business, or you offer Yoni steaming services, but you want to evolve and you want to now become a holistic spa, whether mobile or stationary. If you're like, you know what, Javon, I've been playing small, I want to expand, I would love to coach you through it. I am taking on private coaching clients to help women start their Yoni steam business. Everything from consultation to design and interior design and decor, to planning, to launching your business, to building your menu services, all of that. I'm just so excited because I have been able to see firsthand what comes from this kind of work, right? And doing it from a holistic place and from a place of excellence. And I am just very passionate in helping women all over the globe start their holistic Yoni Steam spas. So listen, I love you guys. I'm excited. To all of my entrepreneurs out there, whether upcoming, seasoned, or aspiring, happy National Entrepreneurship Day. I love you all so much. Remember to discover your inner sparkle and let it shine, because the world is waiting on you to just be you. And when a woman heals her womb, she heals the world. So come on, y'all. Let's heal the world together. All right. Love you. Bye.